You're welcome back today. Today we're talking about nutrition on biology, and this topic is meant for senior 1. So I want you to bring your jotting materials, jot down some important things because everything is not on the board. So I might be making 1 or 2 important statements or saying 1 or 2 important things that you need to note down. If you are unable also to get everything that I said today, make out time to come to the school and pick. I have some materials I've dropped in the school. You can come and pick them and read up, ask your questions. And also, if you are not online today, you can go to our YouTube channel, subscribe and like our channel, read up all the topics that we are going to be reading there. Today we're talking about nutrition. Now, nutrition is part of the functions of cell. I remember I told you about cell in our last class, and we're going to talk about all the function of a cell, but today we're going to start with nutrition. Nutrition, or you call it feeding. Now, what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process in which food is taken by living organisms in order to supply the nutrients required for continuous metabolic reaction going on in the body of living organisms. I'll repeat again. I said that nutrition is the process food is taken by living organisms so that there will be continuous metabolic process in the body of the living organism. And the major source of nutrition is food. Food is the thing that helps living organisms to be able to carry out all the processes, metabolic processes and physical processes needed for the body to maintain life, needed for the body to continue life. So nutrition is a very essential activity in the cell of every living organism, and a major source of nutrition is food. Now, what are the usefulness of food? To provide energy needed for various physical and metabolic activities. Food helps to provide energy. We can take, for example, when we are fasting for a very long period of time, your energy level tends to drop. But when you recharge yourself by eating, your energy level goes up. So food is essential to give us energy to carry out our physical activities and also to carry out metabolic activities. In the course of the lesson, I'll be able to tell you what metabolism is all about. Now, what is the second usefulness of food? Food helps to supply substances needed for healthy growth and development. Food supplies substances needed for healthy growth and development of the body. The third usefulness of food is it makes new cells. Remember, I told you that cells exist from pre-existing cells, and cells don't stay. The cell you had when you were a baby is not the same cell you're going to have till you become an adult or till old age. Your cells get old and they change. And food is one of the things that helps you to get new cells. So that usefulness of food is to make new cells for growth and development of worn-out tissues. Food also provides substances like hormones and enzymes in the body. Now, we haven't talked about the usefulness of food. We're going to talk about types of nutrition. There are 2 major types of nutrition. We have autotrophic nutrition and we have heterotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? Autotrophic nutrition is a process whereby some organisms, living organisms, are able to make out their own food. And those organisms are called autotrophs. And under autotrophic mode of nutrition, we have 2 types of nutrition. That is photosynthetic nutrition and chemosynthetic nutrition. Then the second type of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is a mode of nutrition whereby living organisms depend directly or indirectly on plants to be able to get their own food. For example, we human beings, we can't make our own food. What do? We depend on plants and we depend on other animals for our own food. And there are also types of heterotrophic nutrition. We have symbiotic nutrition, we have parasitic nutrition, and these are the few I can mention under I will mention under heterotrophic nutrition. Now, you can't talk about plants manufacturing their own food without talking about mineral salts. Yes, plants manufacture their own food, but they need help. They need help to be able to manufacture their own food. I remember I talked about photosynthetic nutrition under autotrophic nutrition. And plants is one of the organisms that manufacture their own food through the process of photosynthetic nutrition. How do they do that? They use sunlight and some other mineral salts gotten from the soil and other some gaseous elements gotten from the atmosphere to be able to make their own food. Plants make their own food and they are autotrophs. They use mineral salts, and mineral salts are gotten from the soil in form of what? Solution. Mineral salts are gotten from the soil in form of solution, and it is used for what? Healthy development and growth of plants. Plants also, apart from the mineral salt that they use to make their own food, plants also uses gases that is gotten from the atmosphere, like your oxygen, your carbon. And talking about these gases can be grouped into two. We have macro elements and we have micro elements. Macro elements are those elements that is needed, required by plants in large quantity. From the name macro, macro means big. So whenever you hear macro, remember where we got this topic is from what? Gases that are required by plants to be able to manufacture their own food. And these gases or elements are grouped into two: macro elements or micro elements. Macro elements are elements required by plants in large quantity. Examples of these macro elements are your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your oxygen, your hydrogen, your carbon, your sulfur, and your iron. Now we have another element required by plants to be able to make their own food. We have micro elements. Micro elements, from the name, micro means small. Micro elements are elements required by plants to be able to manufacture their own food in little quantity. Not only plants, animals also need macro and micro elements. Animals also need them. So micro elements are required in smaller quantities. Example of these micro elements are zinc, copper, boron, cobalt, chlorine, manganese, and a lot of them. Now I talked about metabolic activity when we were defining nutrition, which is the process in which food is taken by the living organism in order to supply nutrients for continuous metabolic activity. You will wonder, what is metabolic activity? Metabolic, the word metabolic is gotten from the word metabolism. And metabolism are chemical processes that take place in the life of living organisms. Metabolism are chemical processes that take place in living organisms. And metabolism is divided into two. We have anabolism and we have catabolism. Now, what is anabolism? Anabolism is building up complex organic molecules from simple ones in biological system. I'll repeat myself again. I said anabolism. Remember, I said metabolic activities in living organisms. I'll talk about metabolism. And metabolism is chemical processes that take place within the living cells to be able to maintain life. And we say that they are grouped into two: anabolism and catabolism. Anytime you hear anabolism means what? Building up complex organic molecules from simple ones in biological system. What is the example of anabolism? Formation of fats and oil from fatty acid, or formation of your starch from glucose. Remember that starch gives glucose, but in anabolism, remember that glucose is the simpler form of sugar, and starch gives glucose. So in anabolism in the body of a living organisms, when anabolism occurs, starch is broken down, or starch is being made complex from glucose. Now the next one is catabolism, which is another form of metabolism, a type of metabolism. Catabolism is breaking down. Remember I said anabolism. Anabolism is building up complex organic molecules from simple ones, while catabolism is the breaking down of complex to simple. Now, what is this? What is the example of what? Catabolism, digestion. We all know how we get, when we take in food, the food is being transferred from the small intestine to the large intestine. The minerals needed are being taken to various body parts where they are needed, thereby giving us energy. Another form of catabolism is respiration. And these two that I've just mentioned, we will treat them as a whole topic as we go further in biology. Now, I want to repeat something about anabolism. When I say that it's building up of complex organic molecules from simple ones in biological system. Formation of fat and oil from fatty acid and glycerol. And formation of starch from glucose. Remember that glucose is a bit complex compared to starch. So when we form starch from glucose, starch is a bit complex from glucose. Now when we form starch from glucose, it is a complex formation, and it is what? Catabolism. In a nutshell, we can't talk about nutrition without mentioning mineral salts. We can't talk about nutrition without mentioning metabolism, catabolism, and anabolism. We can't talk about nutrition without mentioning the fact of microelements and macro elements. And when we go further too, we are going to see when these elements are merged in the system or when they are reduced, what happens. But now, today we are just focusing on these few. The meaning of nutrition, the usefulness of food, the types of nutrition, don't forget, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, the organisms that provide their own food, don't forget, they are called autotrophs. And green plants is part of the autotrophs. And heterotrophic nutrition, the organisms that cannot provide or make their own food, but depend directly or indirectly on green plants or other organisms for their own food. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know you enjoyed the lesson, and God bless you. Please be safe. If you are not online, I want you to go online, go to YouTube channel MOTORSTOLIC, and subscribe the channel, watch the teaching. You have textbooks. You can also use your textbooks to make research. You can use your Google to make your research also. And if you have any question, please don't forget. Still Teacher IJ and your favorite school, MOTORSTOLIC. Thank you.